March 9th, 2026, Tel Aviv. 2 a.m. A missile cuts through the night skies, and then silence. Iranian state media breaks the news that shocks the entire world. Netanyahu's secret underground bunker has been hit. His fate? Unknown. Israeli officials? Silent. And for the next 48 hours, the world held its breath. But here's the question nobody is asking. What really happened inside that bunker that night? Stay with me till the end, because the answer will change everything you think you know about this war. On March 16, 2026, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, claimed to have launched a targeted missile strike on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office in Tel Aviv, along with the headquarters of Israel's Air Force commander. But this wasn't just any missile. This was the Kheibar Shekan, Iran's most advanced ballistic weapon. The Kheibar Shekan is Iran's third-generation solid-fuel medium-range ballistic missile. It reportedly has a range of 900 miles and uses satellite-aided guidance and maneuverable warheads to improve accuracy while reducing the predictability of intercepts. Think about what that means for a second. This missile doesn't just fly in a straight line. It maneuvers, it dodges. It adjusts its path in real time. Israel's most advanced defense systems, Arrow, Patriot, had to make split-second decisions about when and how to intercept it. Solid fuel design allows mobility and rapid launch, enabling dispersed salvo attacks meant to overwhelm upper-tier missile defenses. The missile's maneuvering ability in the terminal phase complicates interception. This is not your grandfather's SQD missile. This is a precision weapon, engineered specifically to defeat Israel's billion-dollar air defense network. The IRGC said in a statement, Netanyahu's office and the location of the Air Force commander were struck and targeted in surprise attacks by Kheibar Shekan ballistic missiles during the 10th wave of strikes. The 10th wave. Let that sink in. This wasn't a random attack. This was part of a systematic, calculated campaign, wave after wave, each one more precise, each one going deeper into Israeli territory. According to Iranian sources, the fate of the Israeli prime minister after the attack remains unknown. Israeli officials rejected these statements, calling them an element of psychological warfare. And then something strange happened. Netanyahu went quiet. No press conference, no TV appearance, no tweet, just silence. For nearly 48 hours, one of the most media-savvy leaders in the world, a man who has never missed a chance to speak, said absolutely nothing. Iran described the attack as a surprise strike, saying the missiles hit government compounds and that Netanyahu's fate was initially unclear, triggering intense speculation online and across international media. For several days following the claim, Netanyahu made no immediate public appearance, while Israel maintained strict wartime media restrictions. The internet exploded. Social media was flooded with claims, counterclaims, videos, some real, most fake. And in the fog of this information war, nobody could tell what was actually true. Now let's talk about this so-called secret bunker, because this is where the story gets really interesting. Iranian sources claim that one of the targets of the strike was the so-called Bibi's bunker, an underground command center in Tel Aviv intended to protect the country's leadership during war. Israel, like most nations, has an extensive underground infrastructure, command centers, emergency bunkers, communication nodes, built specifically to survive exactly this kind of attack. These facilities are hardened, reinforced, and designed to withstand direct hits. But here's the problem. Available verified information indicates that Iranian attacks have focused primarily on military infrastructure rather than the personal residences or bunkers of political leaders. The distinction between military targets and political residences is strategically significant because targeting leadership homes would represent a major escalation in the nature of the conflict. So was it a direct hit on a secret bunker? Or was it a precision strike on a military facility nearby? The answer matters, because one scenario changes the entire trajectory of this war. The Israeli Defense Forces stated that air defense systems intercepted a significant portion of incoming projectiles, though several evaded interception and caused impacts. Several evaded interception. That's the Israeli military admitting, on record, that Iran's missiles got through. Not all of them, but enough. To understand why this missile strike matters so much, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. The attack by Iran was part of retaliation after its supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in a joint strike by Israel and the United States. Let's pause here. The supreme leader of Iran, the man who had ruled the country for over 3 decades, was killed. This wasn't just a military strike. This was an assassination of a head of state. And Iran's response was not just missiles. It was a declaration that the old rules no longer apply. Power outages in Tel Aviv suburbs compounded challenges for residents already under strain from repeated air raid sirens and shelter requirements. Hospitals and essential services reported switching to backup generators, while traffic signals and public transportation faced intermittent failures. This is what modern war looks like. Not just soldiers on a battlefield, but civilians in darkness, hospitals running on generators, a city holding its breath every time the sirens wail. The broader Iranian missile barrage struck multiple locations across Israel, including central Tel Aviv districts and the residential city of Beit Shemesh. In Beit Shemesh, a direct hit on a multi-story building killed at least 9 civilians and wounded more than 40 others. 9 civilians killed, 40 injured. In a single building, real families, real lives. This is the human cost that gets lost in the geopolitical headlines. This dynamic has been particularly evident during the early 2026 escalation between Iran and Israel, where missile strikes, retaliatory threats, and military signaling have unfolded alongside intense information warfare across global digital media channels. Iran claims it hit the bunker. Israel says it's propaganda. Both sides have reasons to lie. Iran wants to project strength. Israel wants to project resilience. And caught in the middle? Us, the audience, trying to figure out what's real. As of March 3rd, 2026, reliable sources confirm that Netanyahu is alive and actively engaged. The IRGC's claim of a successful strike on his office remains unverified and has been widely described as misinformation, fueled by the heightened tensions and propaganda in the ongoing US-Israel-Iran confrontation. So the IRGC's specific claim about the secret bunker being destroyed? Not confirmed. But, and this is critical, the broader missile strikes on Israeli leadership facilities? Those did happen. The damage was real. The fear was real. So remember that question I asked you at the beginning? What really happened inside that bunker that night? Here's the truth. We may never know the full story, not because it didn't happen, but because in this war, information itself is a weapon. What we do know is this. Iran's Kheibar Shekan missiles broke through Israel's most advanced air defenses. Real damage was done. Real people died. And the world has never been closer to a full-scale regional war. Netanyahu survived. But the message Iran sent was clear. No one is untouchable, not even the Prime Minister. If this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to see it. And before you go, tell me in the comments, do you think this war will escalate further? Or will diplomacy win? I'll see you in the next one.